Hi, everybody.
Hello there.
This is part 2 of the 30 or so questions that we have to celebrate our 6-month anniversary here. So, like we said, we're not experts. This is just our reflection after 6 months here in the villages. And Gizmo's back here to give his expert opinion, too. People are free to chime in, okay? All right. First question.
Is the wildlife dangerous? Well, some. There have been alligators sighted in lots of the ponds and overflows. Well, not overflows, ponds. And yes, they are dangerous, but we don't get very close to them. So we stay back from those. And there have been bear sightings actually in our driveway, believe it or not. And so luckily it was at 5 in the morning and I wasn't out, but we caught it on camera. And they'd be dangerous. But what else, Jerry? What else is dangerous?
Well, we're just 300 yards from a big lake. And this lake was here for a long time before this neighborhood. This neighborhood's only been here 3 years. So there are some wild animals. We have in close proximity here bobcats. They're seen on occasion, not often, but on occasion. Coyotes, alligators. One of my neighbors has seen a coral snake.
Oh.
Yeah, and of course we had the bear. The bear came into our yard, down our driveway. Florida coyotes, Florida bears, Florida bobcats. These are not the huge animals that some people think they are. They're a little bit on the scrawny side. The bear was quite thin that was in our driveway. I would estimate it weighed 150 pounds maybe. Mm-hmm. Coyotes weigh an average, an adult coyote of 30 pounds average, probably less than that here in Florida. Yet some people are terrified to walk their dogs at night because they're afraid that they're going to encounter a coyote or a bobcat. We don't live in that fear. I think they're more afraid of us than we are of them. Is it possible? Yes. Is it probable? No. Some people are afraid to let their dog out in the backyard because of eagles. We saw 5 eagles flying over our home one day. Bald eagles.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool. Mm-hmm. An adult eagle weighs 10 pounds. 15 pounds. We've got to put him on a little bit of a diet. I don't think a 10-pound eagle is going to pick up a 15-pound dog. Maybe a 4-pound Yorkie or 5 pounds or something little tiny, but we just don't hear of it happening, but we hear of people being afraid that it's happening. So is it dangerous? Just like everywhere. Common sense. Don't feed the animals. Don't get too close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, we find the animals here to be one of the greatest things about the villages.
How is the medical care in the villages? Well, I don't know yet, but we haven't found doctors, or we haven't needed to. We've been pretty lucky. Jerry has gone to the doctor a couple times for a stomach issue, but what do you think?
You have to be telling all my business.
He had a tummy ache.
I had a tummy ache. I went to the doctor twice. It worked just like, hey, you go to the doctor, you pay your copay. It worked like it works everywhere else. A lot of complaints about the hospital here. You know why? Because when people get good service, they usually don't comment. When they when they feel like they haven't, they complain. So I don't know. It's probably like anywhere else. We are going to have to do our own investigating.
Yeah.
But we don't know about the health care as far as hospitals, emergency rooms.
Yes.
Knocking on wood.
Is the travel to and from the villages easy?
Well, we'll hit the airports. Okay, there are 3 airports, really 4, but 3 that we'll talk about within an easy drive of the villages. The villages is in Central Florida. North of us is Gainesville Regional Airport. Think about the airport on the TV show Wings. Remember that old comedy?
Oh, yes.
3 gates, I think there are in Gainesville. Yeah. I like that airport.
It's pretty cool.
But it has very limited routes.
Yeah.
66 miles, I think, maybe 68. It's just a little more than an hour to get there. Parking is easy. Gainesville Regional Airport is a good place to fly in and out of if you can get a flight there.
Now, isn't that since it's small, a two-leg airport, like you can't go straight through.
Very few direct flights
Yeah.
out of there. It goes direct to Charlotte and it goes direct to Miami. I'm talking only about American Airlines. That's the only one I know about. Southwest is not flying to Gainesville.
Right.
So about an hour and 15 minutes to get to Gainesville by car. Then we can go to Tampa. That's a little longer trip, an hour and 38 minutes from here in the southern part of the Villages. No tolls whatsoever to either Gainesville or Tampa. So that's a pretty easy trip. It's all 75 mile an hour highway all the way down there.
Yeah.
We just went there last week twice. So Tampa's a pretty easy trip. I don't mind that at all.
Right.
And Orlando's the third one. MCO is the airport abbreviation, TPA for Tampa, and GVR for Gainesville. And the Orlando airport is closest of the three.
Yes.
But you have to go through tolls. Now, for us, with an e-pass, it's $5.65 each way. So you got $11.30 tolls each time you go to the airport. Being 66 miles, it's about 3 gallons of gas each way. So that's 6 gallons of gas and $11 tolls. So you're talking about almost $30 in fuel and tolls every time you go to the Orlando airport. So maybe one of the airports is a better bet. The other ones is a better bet for you if you don't want to pay those tolls. So pretty easy, a little more time consuming than we're used to from where we were from. We were 20 minutes to the airport, no tolls. Not bad.
Okay. Are the insects bad?
Well, when we moved here, we were not in fear of the insects, but we figured warm climate, lots and lots and lots of insects. And there are a lot of insects in Florida. But here, as part of your regular routine and your maintenance, people can either hire out the insect spraying or you can do it yourself. We do it ourselves. And I'll tell you what, we have not had any problems with insects whatsoever. We haven't even seen any other than some tiny, tiny little ants in the kitchen that drive her nuts. So we got some of those little Terra containers. It's a little container that those ants can crawl into and eat some of that magic elixir and go back to the nest and kill all the babies. We haven't had any problems with that. But so the insects, yes, they're bad, they're big, but we haven't seen them in our house at all. And as far as sitting out, we get a mosquito bite every once in a while, but not often. There are mosquitoes here, but there are also lots of birds and animals that like to eat bugs.
Right. And lizards will eat them.
Right.
Yeah. And they do have those love bugs that come only, 1 week at a
2 weeks in the spring and 2 weeks in the fall. They're a pest because they just fly, and mostly you're worried about the finish on your vehicle.
Yeah.
They don't bite. They don't do anything really crazy. No. But yeah. So bugs, not a big deal. A lot of our questions center around, are you worried about hurricanes? Being in Florida, that's a big worry. When we bought our home, we looked near beach communities like Destin and Pensacola and Fort Walton Beach. And we decided that the risk for us was too great, so we looked further inland. Right now we're in the middle of the state as far as east to west. And the word here is that the Villages has fared very well in recent hurricanes, and people from hurricane communities like the Panhandle, the East Coast, the West Coast, sometimes come here to wait out hurricanes. So yes, there's damage. Yes, the water does rise, but recently no big problems here.
Is it easy to get to the beach?
Like we said, we're halfway, across the state. We're in the middle. So we're right between the East and West Coasts. East Coast would be Daytona Beach, Flagler Beach, about 2 hours, maybe a little under, but right around 2 hours. If you want to go to the Gulf, it's about the same, maybe a little bit less to get some of the less famous beaches, but to go down to Clearwater, you're talking a couple of hours.
Yeah. Are the roundabouts easy to navigate? Well, for me, a little, because I don't drive very much. But for Jerry, no, he's got it down.
Well, roundabouts eliminate the need for stop signs, and stop signs help to congest the traffic. So as long as you keep moving and follow the rules. We're going to do a later video that shows you how to navigate these roundabouts. We'll put her behind the wheel and we'll see what happens. I like the roundabouts.
They're kind of fun. Yeah.
So that's our second set of questions. We have one more. Now, we saved the best ones, I believe, for last. So be sure and tune into our next video. Please hit subscribe. And if you're looking at it on a computer and some smartphones, you can see a little bell over at the side. If you click that bell, you'll be notified for every single one of our future videos. And that'd be a good thing for you to do and for us.
Yeah.
So until next time.
See you later.
We'll see you when you get here.